In the 22nd century, the human race played a vital role in bringing the minor powers of the Alpha Quadrant together, forming the United Federation of Planets. But had history gone just a little differently, humanity might not have lasted long enough to unite its neighbours, and many time-travelling enemies of the Federation knew this. Some attempted to destroy humanity before or during this crucial stage, either on their own or through proxy powers. One such enemy of the Federation, the Spear Builders, enlisted a coalition called the Xindi to destroy Earth in the 2150s, and they were nearly successful. In this video, we'll tell the full story of the Xindi War and how the human race narrowly survived it. Welcome to Trek Central, I'm your host, Captain Jack. If you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then hit that subscribe button for more stories from the final frontier. Click the links in the description to join our Discord server or find us on social media. We're enjoying making these Star Trek videos, and we hope you are too. If you want to support their development, check out our Patreon via the link below. Any support is greatly appreciated. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can also click the join button to receive some extra perks and chat with the Trek Central crew. It's your choice. Okay? Engage. The Xindi War, often known more diplomatically as the Xindi Incident or Xindi Crisis, was one of many proxy conflicts of the temporal Cold War, in which various time-travelling factions attempted to alter history and temporal agents from the 31st century attempted to stop them. This particular proxy war was the work of the Spear Builders, one of the most powerful and dangerous of the temporal Cold War belligerents. The Spear Builders were native to a trans-dimensional realm that was vastly different from our universe, to the point that simply entering our universe would cause a Spear Builder to experience cellular degeneration and die. Despite this, the Spear Builders sought to colonize our universe, and they planned to start conquering the Milky Way galaxy. But given the Spear Builders' unique properties, this was easier said than done. Before they could enter our universe, they had to make it habitable for their kind. To that end, the Spear Builders built enormous spears that generated spatial anomalies, which they seeded across the Delphic expanse. The anomalies generated by the spears steadily compounded, altering the space where the spears were located to make it habitable for the Spear Builders. This process also rendered these regions uninhabitable for the universe's native life forms. Not that the Spear Builders actually cared. The Spear Builders began spear building, hence the name, in the 12th century, and by the 22nd century, the first regions of habitable space were beginning to form in the Delphic expanse. The expanse itself had grown to be 2,000 light-years across, a mess of spatial anomalies walled by thermobaric clouds. Soon, the Spear Builders would be able to begin their colonization efforts, but they soon foresaw a problem on the horizon. The Spear Builders had a unique ability to see into the future and examine alternative timelines, and what they foresaw troubled them. They saw that, in the 26th century, they would attract the attention of the United Federation of Planets that would declare war against them. The Spear Builders would ultimately be defeated in this war, and the Federation would destroy their spears to stop the colonization effort. Seeking to avoid this defeat, the Spear Builders sought to prevent the formation of the Federation by destroying humanity, and to do that, they enlisted the help of proxy powers. These proxies were the Xindi, a coalition of species that originally hailed from the planet of Xindus. There were originally 6 Xindi species, all from the same homeworld and all with vastly different anatomies. These species were known as the Xindi primates, the Xindi arboreals, the Xindi reptilians, the Xindi insectoids, the Xindi aquatics, and the Xindi avians. These species were often at odds with one another, and the relationship between them could be tense. The reptilians and insectoids were the most aggressive and belligerent, with poor relations with many of the others, while the primates and arboreals were typically more diplomatic, and the aquatics tended to be politically indecisive, to the frustration of others. For millennia, the Xindi species lived and fought together on Xindus. In the early 21st century, however, an enormous civil war erupted on the planet, culminating in the total destruction of Xindus and the complete extinction of the Xindi avians in 2033. According to expanded media sources, this war began when the Spear Builders appeared to the Xindi, identifying themselves as the Guardians and claiming to be gods. 5 of the Xindi species worshipped them, but the Xindi avians did not, sparking the civil war and the destruction of the planet. The Spear Builders then guided the survivors of the remaining Xindi species to a new homeworld, earning the worship of all Xindi that remained. They united the Xindi under a new central government, the Xindi Ruling Council, and warned the council that, centuries in the future, the humans of Earth would destroy the Xindi's new homeworld. Some of the Xindi were skeptical, but they were convinced after the Spear Builders provided supposed video evidence. The Spear builders told the Xindi that the only way to prevent the destruction of their new homeworld was a preemptive strike. They had to destroy Earth first. The Xindi eventually agreed, some readily, others reluctantly. Guided by the Spear builders, the Xindi set to work on a super weapon, and in March 2153, they unleashed a prototype on Earth. Without warning, a small Xindi probe, piloted by a single reptilian soldier, opened fire on Earth with a powerful energy beam, carving a swath from Florida to Venezuela before self-destructing. The attack left 7 million people dead. Following this attack, the United Earth Starfleet recalled its flagship, Enterprise NX-01, to help investigate the incident. En route back to Earth, Captain Archer of the Enterprise was given a tip by the mysterious, time-travelling benefactor of the Suliban Cabal. The being informed Archer that the Xindi were behind the attack, told him of the Spear builder's manipulation, and gave him a set of coordinates where he claimed the Xindi could be found. Archer was initially skeptical, but when quantum dating proved that part of a Xindi probe had been built in 2573, he was led to believe that the future guy, which was his nickname, was telling the truth. Against the advice of the Vulcan High Command, Enterprise then set out into the Delphic Expanse, searching for the Xindi. Archer and his crew spent weeks searching before they finally made first contact with their foes. After the Enterprise rescued a slave named Rajan on a Delphic Expanse planet, it was attacked by 2 Xindi reptilian warships, boarding parties in which abducted Rajan before departing. In the process, it was revealed that the Xindi reptilians, without the authorization of a council, but with the help of the Spear builders, were creating a bioweapon designed to kill humans, which they considered an easy alternative to outright destroying Earth. The guy they picked up, it was revealed, was a Xindi operative, whose mission was to perform bioscans on the Enterprise humans' crew to help develop this weapon. After this incident, the Xindi Council forbade the reptilians from continuing this project, but the Spear builders brought a small group of reptilian scientists back in time to 2004 to continue their work. With the help of Temple Agent Daniels, Archer put an end to the bioweapon project once and for all. Shortly thereafter, in December 2153, Enterprise and the Andorian cruiser Kamari stumbled upon a Xindi weapon test site, where a second prototype of a Xindi weapon was disabled in a testing mishap. The humans and Andorians worked together to steal a prototype, but after the Andorians tried to take it for themselves, Archer had it destroyed. Soon after, Enterprise captured the designer of a Xindi weapon, Degra, and managed to coax him into giving up the coordinates of Azadi Prime, where the final weapon, which would completely destroy Earth all in one go, was being built. In February 2154, the Enterprise discovered that the Xindi planet killer was being built underwater, in one of Azadi Prime's vast oceans. After studying the situation, Captain Archer devised a plan to destroy it, intending to use a stolen Xindi insectoid shuttle loaded with photonic torpedoes to destroy it. Archer planned to pilot the shuttle himself, despite knowing that he would almost certainly die in the process. Since Archer would go on to play a vital role in the founding of the Federation, Daniels tried to convince him to seek a peaceful solution instead, but Archer was insistent on continuing with his original plan. His plan fell through, however, and Captain Archer was captured by the Xindi while trying to destroy their weapon. The Enterprise was attacked by Xindi forces around the same time, and it was severely damaged in the battle. Fortunately, Archer ultimately managed to get an audience with Degra, and he told him that the Spear builders were deceiving the Xindi for their own purposes. Degra then managed to convince the Xindi Council to call off the attack on Enterprise and return Archer to his ship, but he also arranged a rendezvous in 3 days for Archer to present evidence of the Spear builders' deceit. Unfortunately, the damage to the Enterprise had disabled the ship's warp drive, forcing Archer to steal a warp coil from a passing Illyrian vessel, and this did allow the ship to make the rendezvous with Degra, who got Archer an audience with the Xindi Council. The reptilians and insectoids were so offended by Archer's very presence that they walked out of the meeting, but Archer was ultimately able to convince the others of the Spear builders' treachery. The Xindi Council voted to abandon the attack on Earth. However, the Spear builders, now desperate, helped the reptilians and insectoids kill Degra, steal the weapon, and proceed with the attack ahead of schedule, promising that they would be made the rule of the Xindi if the attack was successful. The remaining Xindi allied with Enterprise against their brethren, albeit only on the condition that the Enterprise also destroy the Delphic Expanse spears as well. Enterprise and the Xindi Council fleet pursued the Xindi planet killer and its accompanying reptilian and insectoid ships to Earth. Under Commander Dolim, the reptilians took sole control of the weapon after the insectoids expressed hesitation, destroying the insectoid escort vessels accompanying the planet killer. The Xindi weapon and the reptilian cruiser made it to Earth, with Captain Archer in hot pursuit aboard a small Xindi ship. Archer's shuttle was insufficient to break through the planet killer's defenses, but fortunately, the Andorian Kamari showed up to lend a helping hand, distracting Durham's escort ship while Archer and a strike team boarded the weapon. Archer and his crew were able to sabotage the planet killer, causing it to destroy itself, while the Kamari took out the reptilian cruiser. The destruction of Earth was narrowly avoided. Meanwhile, back in the Delphic Expanse, the Enterprise, under the command of T'Pol, used a deflector beam to cripple the interspatial manifolds of one of the Spear Builder's spears, causing the sphere network to collapse. Cut off from one another, the spears imploded into an enormous chain reaction. This put an end to the anomalies of the Delphic Expanse, and it also put an end to the Spear Builder's colonization efforts, defeating them 400 years early. After a brief interlude, in which the Enterprise crew had to go back in time to prevent an alternate timeline in which the Nazis won World War II, Archer and company were welcomed back to Earth as heroes. Archer found this somewhat disturbing. While he managed to end the Xindi War quickly, and partially through diplomatic means, he had made several morally questionable decisions along the way, and 27 members of the Enterprise crew had died in the brief conflict. Nonetheless, Earth had been saved, and history resumed its natural course. The Xindi conflict was not the end of United Earth's troubles. Before the United Federation of Planets could be founded, the Earth-Romulan War kicked off in 2156 and was fought until 2160. If you'd like to learn more about that conflict, check out the dedicated video here on the Trek Central channel. So that was a full story of the Xindi War, the Spear Builder's attempt to destroy the Federation before it began. Let us know if you'd like to see more Star Trek Enterprise videos. And of course, if you want to keep up to date on the Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. We're enjoying making these Star Trek videos, and we hope you're enjoying watching them. If you want to support their development, check out our Patreon via the link below. Any support is greatly appreciated. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper, my friends. Goodbye.